Aron Ralston made world headlines
after becoming trapped in a canyon.
You probably thought it was over.
It's a matter of just cutting the skin.
It became a journey that would take Ralston from panic,
I can't crack it,
to despair,
I was gonna die.
finally to hope.
You did have a vision.
Make an attempt to get it to them.
A journey in which he would be forced to do something the rest of us find almost impossible to imagine.
I tried cutting my arm off.
He amputated his own arm with a pocket knife.
After becoming trapped under a boulder,
I had very, very little water.
I would never do something like that.
This can happen to anyone. I felt the worst pain that I will ever experience.
The odds of something like this happening have to be incalculable.
My son has been reported missing since last Thursday night.
Aron, what happened on April 26th?
What made you do the unthinkable?
It was approximately 2:45 p.m. when he encountered this boulder blocking his path.
And I dislodged a boulder. I pulled it down as I was descending this drop off. The boulder fell.
I was hanging from the boulder where the last good handholds were.
I was now underneath it, and as I put my hands up to try to block it from crashing into my skull, that my hands, one got smashed, and then as the boulder ricocheted, my right hand became trapped. As I went out there, I made a choice not only to be by myself, but I didn't tell anyone where I was going.
My name's Aron Ralston. My parents are down in Larry Ralston of Englewood, Colorado. Whoever finds this, please make an attempt to get it to them. Be sure of it. I would appreciate it.
Hey, Aron here. Leave a message.
Aron, it's Mom. I was hoping to catch you.
Are you there? Hello?
Call me, okay? Lots of love.
The only word of my destination I gave was Utah. My mom didn't want to let me go, and I couldn't blame her.
He didn't want Mom to know, obviously. I would have been shaken in my shoes and probably shaking him.
My son has been reported missing since last Thursday night.
My mom's world was caving in around her. And for the next 3 hours, held a solitary vigil, praying to me, "Hold on. We're coming, Aron. We're coming. Just hold on." I just exhausted myself trying to make the boulder move, and I wasn't able to do that. At that moment, then I realized I was in a great deal of trouble.
God, I'm really screwed. I'm going to shrivel up right here over the course of the next few days.
He was now convinced his only chance to live would require him to do something unimaginable.
Over the time that I was trapped, of course I tried to get free, and yet all of the attempts that I made failed. By the fourth night, the fifth night, now I know I'm not going to make it. And yet then in the middle of that night, what was the last night, I had a vision, an out-of-body experience where I saw myself interacting in a living room with a little boy. He was about 3, 4 years old, blonde hair, blue eyes. Holding him on my hip, and the eye contact that I had with him told me that this was my future son. And if I was to have a future son, then that meant I was going to have a future. I was going to get out of this place. A desire bubbles up. "Mom," I say, delicate and weak, creating a subconscious reassurance that somehow I will survive this entrapment. Then, with a shock, the vision blinks out. I'm back in the canyon. A few hours later, the sun came up yet again on my 6th day in the canyon, but this time with this renewed hope that I would get out of there. It came to me, this epiphany that I could break the bones, because my arm was caught so tightly that I could torque myself. And so I slammed my body against the opposite wall. I grabbed the backside of the boulder and even got my feet up to where I was standing halfway up the wall and grabbing the backside of the rock and humping my body over it until finally that bottom bone snapped. And then boom, and I wasn't even attached anymore, and I fell down like this, and I was free.
You were reborn.
To be given the chance to get out of here. Looking down canyon, I knew I had a hell of a trip left. At least I was not going to die right here.
I stand up. I'm as ready as I'll ever be. I wish I could rest, but I'm slowly bleeding out, and I have 3, maybe 4 hours to go from here. Marching into the wide open, sunny, sandy canyon bottom, I start my 7-mile trek. It's only going to get hotter, and I'm only going to get weaker. The pain tempts me to sit and regain strength, but I know I have to press on. At mile 6, I make a left turn heading toward a colossal alcove that must be 100 yards wide and at least that tall. There, 70 yards ahead of me, are 3 hikers. I have to signal them before they get too far off. I try to shout, but my voice catches in my throat. Finally, I manage a feeble, "Help! Help!" The group stops and turns back to face me. I keep walking and shout again, "Help! I need help!" All 3 of them start running toward me, and I feel as though I'm about to cry. I'm not alone anymore.
A helicopter came out of the sky that had been searching for me, plucked me out of the canyon, and off we fly to the hospital. When I opened my eyes, all I could think about, all I could imagine was seeing my family again. This face of the future son of my life, that I was looking at my little boy.
Only 4 hours since I was rescued. My mom is at my bedside. She bends down and kisses my forehead. "Mom?" I say. The word releases an internal torrent of love that courses through me. But I lift my left hand, and she takes it in both of hers. Her hands are cool, soft, and trembling ever so slightly. At close range, I can see how much worry I've caused my mom, and though I can barely speak, I scrape out, "Mom, I'm sorry I scared you. I love you." She shakes her head, and before either of us knows it, we are crying together.
I've learned a profound lesson in this. When I was on the brink of death, I didn't eulogize myself via my life's accomplishments. Rather, I turned to my loved ones to say thank you. Life is not just about what you do or what you've achieved. It is about who you are, how you relate with others, how you love.
My parents, my mom, my dad, to be able to say to them that I was sorry for what I'd put them through, that I was sorry that I had been in so many ways more self-centered than what I would like to have been in life, that I hadn't told them that I loved them as much as that I would have liked to have expressed, all the regrets that I then had the chance to get back to them. And not only say those things, to implement the lessons in my life. The gift of it is that it draws me out of my daily experience into a place of appreciation and gratitude. Now that is my son. He saved my life that night. For him to be in that spot where I met him 10 years ago, to bring him there and to have that interaction again, this is the gratitude. So it's so amazing to be alive. This was one of the greatest things that's ever happened for me in my life, that I didn't lose anything when I cut my arm off. I gained my entire life back, as well as the lessons and the gifts that came along. And yet what persists beyond that is it's not the will to live, it's the will to love.